arguing,
Let's
okay?
do some spicy topics.
Let's do it, okay? So first things first, we had a tweet. It was pretty much seen around the space, and people fought for a full day. I gotta tell you what, I was in like 5 chats, and they kept saying, wait, are we the cabal? So Lee puts a little thread out here that says, hey guys, check it out. There is an inner circle, there are cabals. These cabals do control stuff. If we've been watching this like Solana, shitcoin market, there's a couple pump and dumps in there, and those are probably done by cabals. We've seen this before. Now, the question is, who's actually in a cabal? What are the cabals? Is this ethical or not? Because I saw a lot of people being like, wait a minute, are we the cabal? Are we evil? And then others were like, I'm the cabal. And no, they're not. They're losers thinking they're, pumping stuff up at a chat here. So yeah, kind of curious, like, Big God, I gotta be honest here, you're in our Ordinals cabal. It is true. I mean, there is no, like, I know you're tapped in here, right? You're part of it, correct? Would you say that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Got him to admit he's in a cabal. Okay.
No, I mean, I think this tweet was really interesting, and then obviously Leap had a space right after that about I think actually like 2 spaces about the cabals. Like, yeah. I think that there's always cabals in every single ecosystem. There's people that have access to information just a little bit quicker than the rest, and then there's also like people that are watching those people in the cabal with their wallet trackers and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I think cabals are a real thing. I think like cabal though is like maybe even a derogatory term. It's just like group chats. Like, just everyone's in a different group chat.
Well, that's the question is, when is your group chat a cabal? Also, dude, look at this. This is the best part about buckets. He's just shaking his head like violently. It's getting, okay. Get him a microphone also, okay? So, like, there is the thing of, like, is your group chat actually a cabal or not? Right? And I think, yes, there are ones that actually move the market, and there's ones where it's just you and your friends talking, and you think you're doing something, and you're not. And I think that, should you strive to be in a cabal? Is that what you're suggesting?
I mean, I think so. Like, if being with your friends, like, being in just a nice group chat with your buddies, your sort of alpha mates, you should absolutely join a cabal. It's good for you.
I have nothing to say on this topic. So.
Okay. He's in too many cabals that he doesn't want to get kicked out of here, So, I mean, so we have quite a few people that are like pretty deep inside one project, right? If you are like a DGods member and you're hanging out and then you slowly like, everyone's like, wow, you're a really good member. Hey, I'm going to, come to my restaurant. Hey, here's a private chat. Eventually you do work your way up the ranks, so to sort, and you're going to get a little bit of info early. It's just like, if someone says like, hey, something hot's coming out soon, do you have to go like, whoa, this is a cabal, I'm leaving, I'm ethical? Or do you just not act on it? It's fine, Mark, kind of curious your opinion. I know you're in cabals.
Listen, well, first rule of the cabal is you don't talk about the cabal.
Of course, yeah.
But no, I mean, it's I don't know, it's kind of up to you at the end of the day, like what you do with knowing something, because I feel like everybody in this space knows something before the news drops, and so it's kind of up to you and your own personal like ethics on that of like, do you take advantage of that or not? My whole thing is I'm not nearly smart enough with the blockchain, so if I did something, everybody would find out about it. So I wouldn't be one of those people who would be able to cover it up. So I just kind of stay in my lane and wait till everything's public, and then I make my moves.
Mark is in the cabal.
Yeah, that was a perfect cabal answer here.
Spoken from a guy who absolutely looks like he's in a cabal.
yeah, sunglasses on, hoodie up.
Laying low.
That's a cabal look here.
Hey, Mickey DGods is the cabal of DGods. That's our cabal, like within the project itself. They're on a different level as it pertains.
What about
to
X Plus
information? It's Mickey DGods.
Really?
They're cabal plus.
Okay, got you.
Wait, so they chose to be the cabal of DGods. Anyone can actually like just say, hey, DGods are out. We're the cabal now. It's just us 3. We're adding more private. Like.
Why is that though? Like, why are the Mickey DGods the cabal and maybe not like X Plus or some of the other groups like DeBozos and?
Honest, Mickey is just like. They literally started probably like a month after Mint, and they've just built a bond as it pertains around this whole Mickey DGods lore. But they've got like really, really smart people in that like group chat that they have. And I think they've just like built they've almost built like a really loyal community in the sub part of DGods, where it's like people that are in Mickey DGods might just be like, yo, we don't even fuck with DGods anymore, but like I can't leave the Mickey DGods. You know what I mean? It's like that level of loyalty. And I think they've just done a really good job of just like building with the people that are in that group chat. They like get access to whatever they get access to, like, and yeah, so like they've just built that like really, really deep rooted bond essentially. That's just different than like anything like X Plus, DeBozos, like they have their stuff going on. But Mickey DGods was like literally the original sub-DAO. Like if we talk about sub-DAOs in a project, I think they're the ones that like led the entire wave of that.
Look, there's only one real cabal in crypto, and those are the people who either lead marketplaces, lead exchanges, and those are the people who are in constant contact with the pro-crypto politicians. Once they get a whiff of rates decreasing or rates increasing, they act on it. And then we're all just a ripple effect of that initial cabal. Yes, there's sub-cabals, like sub-DAOs being formed within this industry, and what we classify as a cabal is if someone makes money or not, and if they have insider information to act upon it. That's what we call a cabal. A cabal is, or you have a group of people that you can make money with. But now the actual cabal, we're freely using this word, the real cabal is like the Brian Armstrongs of the world, the people who actually have access to insider information, not insider information like about to launch shitcoin.eth or whatever it is, like a fucking random ticker.
Bro, this is real alpha,
Like,
man. It's
like that is a cabal of sorts of like a person launching a shitcoin, but only few people know that that person's launching the shitcoin, and then gives access to people buying it initially. The real cabal are the people who have actual information that is actionable, and then there's a ripple effect that we're all a recipient over it. And the real cabal for individuals acting in Web3 and actually building in Web3, the real cabal is if you have people's phone numbers. If you could take the relationships outside of group chats, if you could take relationships outside of tweets and of reply guys, that's the real cabal. And that means that coming to events like this, so you could actually have someone's phone number, direct access.
So you do bring up like a super interesting point, which is like the type of information, how actionable it is. Because I talked to a project founder, they say, we got a dank game coming, so buy now. And then the game comes out and no one gives a fuck and the price crashes. It's like, that's not really alpha. If rates are changing, right, it's like, it's a different thing. Like the things that you know will have an effect one way or another just because of either the scale or how fundamental they are. If someone's like, I got some alpha for you, our next project's going to be really cool, and then it's like not that cool. And I've talked to 1,000 founders who have told me, wait till we see what's next. It comes out and everyone hates it, and then things crash. So it's not, I don't know, a cabal, you know.
Well, like Began, what was like? Who told you to mint Bored Apes?
Oh, I was alone back then. I was just a lonely nerd. I was a lonely nerd on Twitter, and I was like, oh, look at these monkeys. Oh, this is pretty fun. Oh my God, this is a stupid story. I mean, that was
Come
really
on,
it.
there was a cabal. Come on.
No, there literally wasn't. You know, it's one of the first people I saw really online is I saw Franelations talking on YouTube, because I followed him for like, a decade talking sneakers and clothing, and he was doing streams where he's like not buying Bored Apes, but he's like, I'm buying these like wizardy dudes, I'm buying these guys, or he's buying little guys, and I was like, oh, Fran's like an amazing collector. I like to collect. Let me look at NFTs more. I looked at NFTs more. CryptoPunks were, too much money, and then Apes came out, and that was it. There was no cabal. I had zero friends. I told you, I didn't tell anyone that I bought Bored Apes. It took me 2 weeks to tell the first IRL friend, and it was guys, I have an embarrassing confession. Guys, I spent $500 in this monkey photo, and my friends laughed furiously, like they laughed their ass off at lunch, and they said, you got an addiction. I go, you're buying GameStop, leave me alone. Like, so, but yeah, no cabal. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, Ziana, if you run a regular space, it is a cabal. That's one of the problems.
It is.
Right, because no, there is a problem here, okay? Okay, wait. We're not Bucket's cabal definition, okay? But there is a thing. If you talk in a regular space and you know you have an audience, and then you say, hey, we're gonna talk about this today, you know that, do we like this or not? It's gonna be a positive, spin on a project. That project might go up. If Thread Guy knows that, hey, I'm gonna talk today about, OPEPin, and I'm gonna probably be pretty nice about it, OPEPin's gonna go up, right? So it's like there is like a responsibility you have. So yeah, what do you say for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel there's a responsibility, but I don't consider it a cabal. In my opinion, it's very simple. It's a cabal if it's making money. Like, honestly, if I'm able to get some form of insider information that could potentially get me, my friends, family, whomever's involved, money, I think that's a cabal. Because, I mean, sure, you can collect JPEGs all you want, but if it's not pumping your bags and increasing your portfolio, what is it at the end of the day?
Yeah, okay.
Well, I don't know. I think there's still a cabal, and like you could lose money, right? Like I think Leap's example here, like the angel check cabal, like the majority of the angel checks that people are writing, or some of the panel members up here are writing, like the majority of those companies will fail. So I don't know. There's still going to be like losses, I think, in a cabal.
Sure, but most of the time,
hopefully the majority of the time it's making.
Yeah, but most
money.
of the time they do. That's why they are considered a cabal.
Yeah, and if they're not making money,
yeah,
and if they're not making money, it's probably going to be a dead cabal.
100%.
If you're not making money, by definition, it's not a cabal. Cabals rule the world.
Cabals make mistakes, though, sometimes. Cabals don't make mistakes.
do.
You make a mistake, you're kicked out of the cabals?
Yes.
They're making money every single time.
Okay. That's a good way of maybe saying it.
The best cabal is TDA chat. You're in it.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. TDA, let's go.
I love there's two strategies. We're not a cabal. The other one is we're a cabal. Join best cabal. Get in here.
But I mean, that is the real signifier of an influencer, right? When you talk about a project, and I know this for YouTube, DeFi, I think NFTs might be a little bit different, but the power of your influence as a DeFi influencer, for example, is when you talk about a token, and you can go directly to CoinMarketCap and see it within 15 minutes of it being spoken about going 20, 30, 40, 50%. Those things do exist. We see it firsthand. Those are, I wouldn't call them the ultra cabal. I actually agree with Bucket's decision here, or kind of description of what a real cabal is, but these microcosm cabals do exist when they can move markets.
Okay, so we'll get a thread going of like, we have to just say, here's a micro cabal, here's a nano cabal, here's a medium cabal, here's a mega cabal. Like
Our slogan is literally TDA or stay poor.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're a cabal.
yeah.
I think the biggest thing here is literally like, aside from the cabal, it's just like, cabal is just a word that's being used for it right now, right? It's like the hot word to use. I think the thing here is like, people feel like crypto is a level playing field, and at this moment in time, it's probably not a fully level playing field. And like, that's just the reality of the situation of things developing, people building relationships, people working in this ecosystem. Like, yeah, someone that's spent 2 years here showing up every day, making relationships with people, is gonna have an allow list to the hype mint coming up versus someone that just joined a month ago and is like, oh, I'm trying to get allow list for this mint. And like, that's just like, that's the landscape that I think that we're in, and that's what everybody's kind of focused on, is the fact that it's not this like
yes and
level
no.
playing field.
I mean, I know a lot of people who've spent a lot of time who have put in countless hours, but it also depends on that individual, right? If they're choosing to pivot, it depends on if you're choosing to grow from your circles. It really, I mean, it's so complex. Yeah, I mean, but everything's not a level playing field, you know?
Exactly. So every single industry, there isn't a level playing field. There are people that can instantly get your song playlisted on Spotify. There are fashion showrooms that you could get instant access and getting stocking in these fashion showrooms in New York City if you have those connections, no matter how shitty your designs are. In every single industry, there is an unlevel playing field. The problem is that what we preach in crypto is basically counter that, counter culture. There isn't a level playing field. You could start from zero, and that's the biggest part that people were upset with Leap's take. He's like, anyone could be a part of the cabal. The problem is that yes and no. You can, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be people outside of the cabal. The problem is that we preach individuality, autonomy. Anyone could do anything in the space, but it's still an industry. It still lives in this world, and it will forever be an unlevel playing field.
So kind of building up like what Sonny said about that. I'm with you, Buckets, but I do think that you can't have a like easy, what do you call, like everyone can have a path where they can get to be, in the inner circle, right?
Wag
it
me.
has to be intangible.
Wag me.
Well, if you start saying, here's how you join the cabal, here's a series of stats, it's not a cabal, it's public here, people will gamify it. If you start saying, okay, great, you need to do a space every day. Great, I'll do a space every day. Here's my space. Am I in the cabal yet? If you start saying, make a certain number of posts, you'll start spamming posts. Whatever you do, if you put it down in paper, if here's how you join a special group, people will scam it. So if you just make it a thing of like, we'll invite you when we invite you, right? You can like, people have to just do random stuff and go, I guess I'm gonna try and provide value or be a good person. And you say, okay, cool. I see it's unique for each person. If you make rules to join the cabal, I think it all breaks apart because there's just scammers who will just say, I'll automate joining the cabal.
I think you have to be willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do. So like if you take Leap, for example, Leap up until like when Utes came out, I don't think anybody knew who Leap was at the time. He then did a Twitter space where I think he did the Twitter space for like 24 hours or some crazy amount of time, right? And all of a sudden everybody started to be like, wow, this is super entertaining. I think he had over like 1,500 people in the space at one point, and all of a sudden his following started to grow, and it grew rapidly. And so he doubled down. He kept doing the spaces. He was living on the East Coast doing spaces until like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like he was doing something other people weren't willing to do. Now he's got connections that other people don't have, but because he was willing to do something they weren't willing to do.
Yeah, I remember like falling asleep and then waking up and Leap was still doing a
Still
space.
going.
And I'm like, the sun is up, dude. You're
The
crazy.
man had a seizure. Like, I mean, come on. Like, that's commitment.
To that point, right? Like, to Bucket's point of like these other industries having these like people, it's all about connections. Like, I think that's true, but in the sense of crypto, it's like it's not a level playing field, but I think it's an open playing field in the sense that some of these other industries today gatekeep way more. But like, if you like, essentially, if someone was coming in today and wanting to build a platform on crypto Twitter, wanting to join communities, wanting to do all these things, I think there is a way for them to do that and then potentially, quote, be into this cabal like 6 months later or whatever, 8 months later, just based off of the connections that you make. Like some of the connections that like that I've made along the way has just been like, damn, I'm talking to some of these people, or like the access that you have to certain founders, whatever the case is, it's like those things exist way more open and freely in this space than I think in other spaces.
While I will agree with you, this space is also in its infancy. So it's easier to get part of a cabal when the cabal is smaller.
Totally.
It's easier to get involved in
Yes.
this place because it's a new industry. The fashion industry has been existing since we've been putting on clothes.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
we gotta start now.
No, I'm saying that's, so when people say we are early, they're always referring to it as number go up and like market cap is still not with a market cap of gold.
But it's
or
also all
whatever
these
it is.
platform things.
Exactly. It's the fact that we don't have as many like actual thought leaders, not the fucking Twitter space hosts who shit on every single project that releases, like actual thought leaders.
Wait, I like my bags.
Yeah, I love my bags too, but that is the thing is we put bags first and then like.
I like my bags. I'm space's host. I'm not shitting on
I
other
like my
I
projects.
pay my bills too. I have to pay taxes. Just got a letter from the IRS. Whatever. The point is that we're focusing on we are early based off of bags, and now we are early in terms of like being a thought leader, actually like establishing roots, and the bags will come with that. But we're putting bags in front of those roots. And then therefore, yeah, it's easier to join a cabal. But the thing is that right now, the cabal is attached. Am I going to get involved in the right shitcoin? Like that's not a cabal because that cabal will disappear in 6 months.
Wait, what's the difference between networking and a cabal? Because don't you just gotta go to IRL events and then you're a part of all the cabals?
Well, I think it comes down to influence, right?
Like-
The more influence-
Oh, you got nice. Just talking about
Well, I think it comes down to influence, right? The more influence you have, like Sonny said, like it is an open platform. Web3 is open, but the more influence you build, the more exposure you gain towards these sort of groups, which are willing to pull you in based on the influence that you have in the space.
Not all cabals are equal.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, actually, this does actually, I feel like, transition next to a nice another topic, speaking of just wacky, weird stuff, because we've been watching a new cabal being formed. That guy's in it right now. Ordinals, it's 1 year old. If I wanted to join the ETH cabal, I've been trying the whole time. I was too late. They're like, you don't have an autoglyph? Oh, never mind. Try Solana, right? And then I didn't go over there, and I got screwed. Now they're like, oh, we've been over here for 2 years. So, you know what I'm saying? Ordinals came out. It's a newer thing. And then, boom, you could join the cabal a lot quicker because it's just brand new. It's a smaller crew, right? We are watching something go on the past week, though, that is making my mind just, I don't know if this is the dumbest thing or the coolest thing in the entire world. These MFers are inscribing everything. This is just a joke if you can scroll down, Rosenbaum. But someone said, hey, check it out. You can inscribe through tweets. Then someone's like, hey, you can inscribe through Post-it notes. Someone said, hey, you can inscribe a punk by tweeting over here. And like this inscription concept is being spread everywhere. It's like out of control. I don't know what, like.
It's spreading quicker than COVID.
Yeah.
It's literally a virus.
Watch out.
It's a virus.
So, you know, I am wondering, is this a real thing? It is a joke. I mean, a Post-it note inscription is hilarious,
Has to
right?
be,
That's
right?
stupid,
Has
right?
to be.
You meant it, right?
But memes, of course I did. Of course. Okay. I busted out. I was actually gonna mint one on a rare Post-it notes I have. I've got some rare Garfield Post-it notes in studio right here. I was gonna bust one out just for this, but you know. But I mean, is this actually something that you should actually be following? Is this a joke? Half of the stuff we're into anyway. I mean, Ordinals was kind of started and everyone's like, you're graffitiing on money. And then the Ordinals guys were like, graffiti harder. So, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of curious your take, Big God.
I think the tweet scriptions or the twit scriptions have some legs. I think that they're supposedly going to be a marketplace for twit scriptions coming out in the next 24 hours on Arbitrum.
On Arbitrum?
Yeah.
Really? Okay,
Arbitrum.
you guys.
So I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. I think the majority of it is a joke. But like, hey, it's a tweet. It's free. Like, maybe you should try it out. I don't know.
I want
like,
to point out that
go
only
on your
had
burner.
300 comments last night.
Yeah.
Wait, how many does it have now?
It's at 4.7K.
4.7K
I inscribed
comments.
it last night at like 1 a.m. and it had 300
Oh my
comments.
gosh.
Okay,
that
that.
low-key blew up.
What happened to Bitcoin, fine art, you know, like all that?
Nah. Wait,
X is the God chain.
They're
Twitter
putting
has become a
punks.
blockchain. Twitter has become a blockchain now.
This is it. Yeah.
You're always gonna have some degen shit happening.
Yeah, there always is. Like, there always going to be degen shit.
I will say what's different about this thing versus shitcoins is shitcoins like what's a funny name, right? This they're saying what's a funny way to inscribe things, and that's another level of creativity that I appreciate. The fact that I mean. Do you understand how P-scriptions work? I don't even know what it means. Okay, they're urine-based inscriptions.
Those are
I don't know
definitely
what it
rare,
means.
Those
That's
have
when I
to be
say
rare.
P. It's not just a P. Yes, these degenerates are like out of control.
Those are going to be rare though. So
Yeah, like, it's going to be
Stuff.
super embarrassing.
Yeah.
How do we buy those?
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen rocks sell for like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And the rocks are still
so,
selling.
like, I don't see why this can't sell.
Yeah. Okay,
Hi,
that,
Sonny
bug.
and Mark, have you guys hopped on the Solana scription hype yet, or what?
You want to answer that first, Sonny?
Oh, maybe we're getting alpha then, huh?
Hey.
Nah, no solo inscriptions over here.
Okay.
Except
No.
for I don't know if Soul Map.
Yeah,
Is
that
that
counts.
All right, then,
Soul
yeah,
Map
I
technically
did.
inscription?
Yeah. I did.
Okay, Soul Map counts, and I'm
Yeah,
in too.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
See, they got you. They got you.
Soul Map to the moon.
Listen, I literally started my podcast because I didn't understand like 90% of the stuff in this space, and so
And
I
you
was
still
like,
don't.
Yeah, I still don't. I'm at like 80%. I understand, but still, still a ways to go. But yeah, inscriptions, everything that's just way over my head.
So I will say Soul Map is a funny one because Soul Maps are based off bitmaps, correct? Which is this weird thing now where Solana's copying Bitcoin. Like, what is like? You could never ever explain like a year ago. Yeah, Solana's going to be copying Bitcoin.
Is like bitmaps
what are you
though?
talking about?
Is it like loot?
I keep saying it's like
we,
loot.
we
Yeah,
could
it's
have
just
seen
like
that
loot.
coming. We saw some Soul projects go to Bitcoin in the early Ordinals
Yeah.
days.
Oh, who's that?
No,
You
Sony
know.
had a good tweet on that. I think it was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah,
They're overcompensated by being on a VC chain, so they have to go all the way to Bitcoin.
of course.
Hey, VC's got to make money too, okay? All right. All right. Speaking of the opposite of VC, actually, we had some really fun news like that happened just this like Christmas time, I guess, which is the Plague said, "Hey, guess what, everyone? If you're an unnested holder, we're surprising you. You own part of the company now, and we have converted over from what? If you could scroll down, Rosenbaum, I can't remember what they went. They were an LLC, now they're a C corp, or vice versa. LLC to C corp. There we go. And boom, people who were just holding this NFT, not expecting to ever own part of the company, now own part of it, and because they didn't promise something and they got it, it's not a security, right? They've got around this. They talked to several lawyers. This is like, it's pretty wild in my mind. I've not seen this before. I've not seen any company surprise the holders. Like usually, they promise things that they don't deliver. This is the opposite. This is like, check on your, check your wallet. You own the company. So super curious about what you guys think about this, especially people who are like running projects because,
Was the snapshot already taken?
yes.
If you didn't own before Christmas, you're done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if somebody sells theirs, do they don't own anymore? How's that
Unless
work?
it's fully vested, I believe.
Yeah,
Then
so-
yes, you can hold on.
The whole point of this was the only way they could do it was if it was a complete surprise.
Yep.
So they couldn't tell you, hey, we're doing this. You have until this date, because now they're telling you, buy this and you're going to get this. So the only way it worked was it was a gift, and the way it was complete surprise. The floor price 3 months ago was 0.1. Their floor price today is at like 0.45, almost going to like 0.5. So people are even buying them, not thinking they're going to get a piece of it, but I think just looking at Pond and going, damn, he keeps delivering. Because, I mean, this is the project that went to like almost an ETH during the bull for no reason over different frog projects.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the other thing I don't understand sometimes. What country's laws are we operating with when it comes to this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's always like, we're talking to lawyers. I'm like, we got a ton of countries represented in this space.
He was asked that this morning on his space, and he didn't really give like a clear-cut answer. He was like, if there's anything I'm not comfortable with, I'm going to point you in the direction of the thread, and then we'll start to, leak some things as things are allowed to be spoken about. So, yeah, that was asked.
He did say that the crypto aspect of the company, not LLC, not corporation, British Virgin Islands company.
There we
There
go.
you
I
go.
was about to say, he's like, oh, yeah, it's legal at the British Virgin Islands,
Yeah.
which is where we all live, correct? Everyone who got the airdrop, we all live there.
I'm a holder, right? Like I've been.
Wait, so you own the company now?
Yeah.
Whoa, big shot.
Shareholder.
Yo,
Surprise.
wow, good job. Wow, good job. You did it.
Surprise,
Bull
I'm not on the
market is
panel. I
back.
own a company.
Okay, you own a company
I
now.
own a company.
He's been acting different ever since he found this out.
Buckets
I'm a
of shareholders.
businessman. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't care less, honestly.
What?
But, so
Damn.
look. As a holder, I couldn't care less because unless the company goes public, I'll never see a return on my investment.
Or it sells.
Or it sells, right? So this is actually a kind of an interesting exit plan by Pons if he's ever trying to like leave the plague. It's cool, but I think as someone who just works in Web3, this is pretty cool. I just think like, why not, right? So now, there's one thing that if I was a founder, I would never do it because. So there's two things. My bearish case is I would never do it because we've been trying to educate people for a fucking year that if you own an NFT, you're not a shareholder. Like you just own a fucking
I
picture
know.
on the internet. And then he goes on and says, by the way, no, that is wrong. So that's why I wouldn't like it. Now the reason why I do like it is because he's built since day one. He's been building his community all about giving back. So for people who don't know, he actually like out of the frog's treasury paid for someone's cancer treatment and saved their life.
Oh.
So like from the beginning, Pons is all about giving back and all about decentralization. So like he's the biggest decentralization maxi out of any founder that's in this space by far, bar none. So him trying to like give back control of a company, he's still gonna have majority stake, but like trying to give it back a little bit more like decentralized, of like owning a private company as decentralized as it can be. Like he's trying to do that, plus giving back charity. They've done a bunch of charity work, and they actually have a successful stream of revenue. Like they're doing the coffee stuff. So like you can actually like make a case that for them it works because they're gonna actually have revenue streams across the board, separate from the NFT, but attached to the company that now you own. So it kind of makes sense for them. It doesn't make sense for the majority of NFT companies, and I don't think people should follow suit.
Bunch of great
so
yeah.
He's not doxed either. That's one thing. A lot of these founders aren't doxed, but they have Mudwater coming out, which is actually their beer. So they've got a bunch of different products coming out that they're waiting for distribution lines to start showing up. So they're not just making something and saying we're going to airdrop it over the mail. But yeah, I think it's bullish, and I think the one thing with Pond, this is exactly what he would do. If everyone says you're not supposed to get royalties, he's going to go, you know what? I don't need them. Here you go. So like we said, he's always trying to give back, and this is something he'd absolutely do.
Okay, so a couple things. Bunch of great points made, and I think I agree, but I agree maybe for like a more evil reason, because I come from like, the startup background, right? And everyone knows the best way to make someone work their ass off is you say, here's a piece of the company, make sure you show up early, make sure you stay late, make sure you work on weekends, we're going to sell, we're going to get acquired, you're going to be rich. You're going to work extra now, and then you're going to get rich later. And then how successful are startups? 9 out of 10 fail miserably. It's higher than that, right? So you were able to get more work out of people for nothing. It's beautiful. I have stocks in lots of companies that I don't know what happened. They get acquired by someone, and one day it's like, and also truthfully, Pons could have gone a little deeper. What he should have done, this is the next step, what you should do is real startups, they make you pay for them. They should have said, hey guys, these are options, and if you buy them now, you're going to get a tax rate discount, so make sure you buy them. And then, oh boy, he could have had a revenue stream from his holders who would have then worked harder for him with nothing in return. I mean, so this is how startups been operating for a long time. Great job, Pons. Buckets, get to fucking work, dude. We gotta get this thing acquired. Yuga's gonna buy the plague. Okay.
That take aligns with how I feel about the whole cabal thing, this notion of like, oh, well, the person did what other people weren't willing to do. That's why they have connections that other people don't have. My immediate thought was something just of that nature of like, oh, well, you just have to do like the extra outrageous, ridiculous thing, and then you're going to gain the rewards. Oh, but hey, we're in an infant stage of a decentralized space, so as soon as you get finished doing them the way that the last person did, the goalpost is going to change, and you're going to have to do the next thing that people are unwilling to do. Hooray! And like that just came into my mind this whole time when we were thinking about it.
Oh, I have a distinct memory. This is so sad. When I first moved to LA, my first startup, I remember one time going, it's Saturday, Megan's not here. Embarrassing. I guess she doesn't really care. Okay, I'm like, oh my God, I've been brainwashed. It's Saturday.
I would agree with your point about like making them work for it if it wasn't Web3, because no one here, has a job. But besides that, I think we're getting
company owner.
Keep going. I'm a company owner. I could speak like that. You guys can't. But I think the way that we think is not like, can I make money off my shares? It's like, can I make money if I sell the fucking asset? So they were just waiting for the floor price to pump, and they're never even gonna get their money from their shares.
Well, no, that's a good point. Though. If you are worried about just selling the asset, right? You're like, okay, let me just pump it up a little bit and whatever, make some money. Selling a whole company, you have to build much deeper value. The incentives are aligned better. If I'm trying to get acquired by Yuga, the Plague is doing cool stuff. Everyone's saying this is a great founder. Awesome. How can I push that deeper? If I'm a community member, I think we can get acquired by Yuga or D-Gods or something like that. I can help.
But Began, we know in crypto, the amount of companies that get acquired is so minute, because anyone in crypto can just copy what the Plague is. Sort of rebrand it and for no cost.
No, wait, real quick.
So why would you need to acquire this? Well, no, I have nothing against pawns.
No, this is why you acquire companies. Every company I've ever been acquired, right? I've had 2 acquisitions. They're trying to get the people. They don't care about the product. Everyone can copy products. No one gives a fuck. They're trying to get people. It's an acqui-hire. It would be, we're buying the Plague because Pons is fucking killing it, and we want his help, and he's going to help us, not just for the Plague, for whatever bigger thing, Yuga or whoever, right? It's the people. And if they say, we have a dedicated community that's going nuts, putting out killer content, and they think they're holders, I'm trying to buy the community. I'm not trying to buy the product. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think like general crypto, acqui-hires are still almost non-existent. And then to the NFT side of things, I think also non-existent. So I don't know. I think like if Yuga wants something like this, they're just going to be like, hey, like head of creative, take this idea and spin it in sort of a Yuga way that's 10 times better than I don't know.
Well, there was a streak there where acquisitions were happening, and everyone's like, Yuga's going to buy us, Yuga's going to buy us. And we had like 2 weeks where every project was pumping because it was a Yuga acquisition rumor. I don't think they're going to do that again, but dude, I could see Pudgy Penguins maybe just going, Luke could just goes like, wait a minute, like Pons is kind of killing it. Let's combine forces. Frogs are kind of cute. Let's go. You take care of this cool. I don't know,
Yeah.
And I think the most interesting thing about the whole move that he made is, I mean, there was a special allocation specifically to frogs that, like he says in his post, have gone above and beyond for the plague, right? These are the core community members of this project that have just like continued to push the project regardless of floor price. And these are the ideal community members that you pay for to be a part of your own project, right? These are the valuable community members that really are just going to help you grow and flourish, I think.
Totally. I mean, yeah, recognizing people, and you can't tell them, everyone work extra hard, we're going to give you something. Otherwise, Howie will come and, put us in jail here. So, well, this is actually, it's kind of a nice transition because there were some topics I did want to talk about, which is essentially, what do you actually want from a founder? How do you be an effective community member? We've got a couple people here who are part of communities where, like Sonny's now president of D-Gods, and that's not exactly how you started, right? So it's like, we're seeing people who have, and same, Mark, I feel like you're a prominent D-God member here, and that's, you didn't sign up for the job.
I'm trying to impeach Sonny. That's really what it comes down to.
Mark's just up here because he's my Secret Service.
But I've seen the topic a couple different times. We've been talking about projects like, what's a good founder, what's a bad founder? Do you want founders on Twitter all day? Do you want a founder who shit posts? Some people are like, dude, look, some people love Frank on Spaces. Some people are like, Frank, get back to work. Other people, they're like, dude, my founder, they won't even go into space, man. We're dying here. Other founders, if you put them on a space, the price goes down dramatically. Guess what project I'm talking about.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry. So, yeah, kind of curious to hear some opinions. We've seen some talk about a couple of like the ordinal projects where, the founders are kind of spicy, right? They're kind of shit talkers. They are, is that what you want, actually? You're a founder too. You're not shit talking that much, Bickot. I mean.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think the way like Frank has done it is great. I guess Pons as well. Like he's built a really interesting community. I think shitposts are like a part of what should happen. Like to me, it's sort of, if you're shitposting and you're a founder, you sort of understand the space, the sort of degen culture that's here, regardless of whether you want it to be here or not. So I don't know. I'm in support of shitposting. I think Frank does it well. Like over this past couple weeks, like he's yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's some pretty fun topics. I feel like he's like shit posting, half serious, and it's just like, I know he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? It's like,
totally.
Maybe we'll go back to Solana. I'm like, you know what you're doing, dude. Like the numbers just went up. Everyone's like, get in here. They're going back, and it's fun. The thing I'm wondering is like, if you're hiring people, and if you're not a shit poster, do you hire would you say company hire a shit poster?
Probably not. It's just someone in the background.
Hire a mouth.
I think, like, look at Luca. I don't think Luca's a shit poster, but I think when Luca talks about Pudgy, you just look at it and you go, this is a guy who thinks strategically on everything he does and then puts the right people around him to make the right decisions. But I wouldn't look at Luca and be like, oh, he's like this funny shit poster on Twitter. Like, no, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to run a business, and then he operates his NFT project that way. And you need different project founders to be just great at what they're great at. Like, don't try to be something that you're not. If you're not a shit poster, like, it's going to come across cringe as hell if you try to be.
Totally.
But you have to be willing to listen to your community, too. Too many times, like, if you're not able to be that mouthpiece, but your community is wanting there to be a mouthpiece on behalf of your project, okay, then find a mouthpiece. Right? Yeah. So whether it's on your team, whether it's a community member willing to step up, you need that mouthpiece. I think you need to figure out as a founder where you fit and stay in that vein, but allow your team to bring that sort of communication or your community.
Well, it feels like, so Pudgy is like, they're not a serious uptight project, right? Like, they're just putting stuff out. Luca has good vibes. He's on Space. He's got cool ideas, but like, no one's like, like criticizing him like K-Row would if he says like, here's a new idea. They'd be like, what do you got, Luca? However, there's Pudgies who shitpost all day. They're great. They've got a shitposty community, so he doesn't have to do it. Right? He can back up. There's not like a lot of moonbirds who shitpost except for negatively about them. And so then there's like this like, gap that's missing there, right? So it's like,
Yeah, because, no one's going after Luca's neck because he's releasing plushies, like simply because he's releasing toys and he's doing it successfully. Like, there's not much to go after right there, right? So, but what Luca does is not.
Have you heard Patrick? But keep going.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm saying that's the point. Like, the people like us, like we want plushies. I don't, but people do. So the thing is with Luca, Luca is not he's not as active as on Spaces as Frank is, but he's more active than like Zagabond, right? Because what he does is he goes on press tours because he's worked with companies before. He knows how it's done. Shit talking on Spaces with like 50 people up there, and then you join it, all of a sudden it has 200, and then your entire community is like, oh, you see, like Frank is pumping the space because people want to hear what he has to say, is not actually the correct way of being the voice of a project. The correct way is going on press tours. Right before the Walmart announcement and right after the Walmart announcement, all that Luca did was join Spaces. Why? Because it was the fucking time to go on a press tour. And then do you know what he does? He disappears for a month. He disappears for 2 months. Then they have their Basel activation. Before and after Basel, he was on his press tour doing his thing. The thing is that it's important to be an active founder. It really is. But I'm sorry, but the perception of you working is as important as the perception of you working publicly. And going on these press tours is actually the best way of doing it, and actually conserving your energy and making sure that when you actually speak on Spaces, it's proactive and it's actually impactful, rather than just saying we're bridging over to Solana.
That's actually I've never even thought about the press tour, but that is so right. That's exactly that's how it's done, and like also is okay. Nice.
Wait, how do you get into press tours? This sounds like alpha.
Sounds like a cabal thing.
Fine. Okay. So, no, I'm saying like, honestly, like the way you go on a press tour is like, first of all, your company, you know exactly what your company's about to do. You know the timeline. So based on that timeline, you go after your contacts in different types of press markets. So there's obviously the one that we participate in the most, which is Spaces. And it's very important to actually reach to your community directly. But you also hit up publications. You go to the people who actually print or digital, and then you go after them and get press placement. So then there's something that when you're speaking up on Spaces, there are posts out there that you could pin up to the top. Stuff, landing pages. So if you combine the organic speaking to your community while having landing pages pinned up to the top, and also for regular readers, and also to make sure that your SEO is optimized. So when people Google Pudgy Penguins, there's great articles on the top and Google picks it up. Is if you combine like digital press, physical press, which does not exist in crypto, but it will be. And then also the reaching out to your community, and you combine it all during one moment. You have a pre-press moment during the release and then post-release, reactionary and proactively. And if you couple those towards like a very, very important moment in time, that's when you actually optimize and you go after your community, you give them exactly what they want, and then you disappear and have the perception of you actually building.
So
thank you so much.
Yeah, that was like super helpful. Actually, someone clip that. Okay. Couple things here. First, Rosa Mom, can we do a quick search of Pudgy Penguins on Google, and let's see what that first one is here. If it's the Kai Cenat unboxing a Pudgy on Twitch on Christmas, then wow. Let's see. Also, you can't do Brave because that's the worst search. All you do is at the top do an exclamation point G at the first search and see what happens. But not bad. Okay, Walmart launch. Okay, cool. But this is Brave search, which is terrible.
To the Kai Cenat thing, is that
boom? Okay. On Brave
is that
search
paid
too.
though? Is that paid or no? Is that organic?
Yeah,
not that there's anything against it. I don't have anything against it. I'm just like, it's very organic the way like Kai of course does things.
Yeah.
But like you have to wonder like all those toys in there, are they?
I'll say this though, I had a friend who was over. For my background, I was in photography for 7 years, and so I had a model friend who was over who has like 2 million followers on Instagram. And she walks into my place and she sees my Pudgy Penguin and she goes, "What is that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I got one of those delivered to my door and I don't know how."
Oh.
And I was like, "Well, wait, do you know Luca Nets?" She's like, "No, who's that?" And I was like, he just.
Are you funny?
That's
The
Luca.
That's one of those.
That's not funny. That's
Funny,
you're
my
pumping.
bad.
That's the
That's
greatest thing
One
I've
of
ever
those
heard.
press tour things where they're
Exactly.
probably working with some sort of press firm that's like, hey, we
Yeah.
know 200 million followers, sort of combined. We're gonna send shit to them.
And
That's
not just that,
smart.
you could ask someone, do they know Luca Nets? They say no. Do you know Kai Cenat? They say yes.
Yeah.
And then guess what? You Google Luca Nets, Pudgy Penguins comes up. What comes up next to Pudgy Penguins? Kai Cenat. So you actually use your marketing dollars to get basically prioritized across the board, leveraging other people's platforms, standing on the shoulder of giants, and that's what we have to do in crypto because us as an ecosystem is not big enough yet. But we will be. And by the way, the Kai Cenat thing was 100% paid for, and it was the best use of dollars I've ever seen in recent NFT memory.
Yeah, I want to know how much, but like it seems like a great sale.
I'm almost curious as to whether that's, as far as like saying the press tour thing is the quote unquote correct way to go about it, having the healthy balance between doing the active press and then engaging community, giving the giving off the notion that you're, hanging back for a month or so and working all that stuff. I wonder if that's really like quote unquote correct, or if that's like kind of what's working right now. And is subject to change over time. I say it like that because I know as a musician, 8 years ago, you did not drop without a press release. You did not do it. These days, it can almost sometimes be a hindrance, especially if you don't have the community built up. Sometimes hawking around Submit Hub and trying to like get these other blogs to drop you and review your stuff can kind of like be counterproductive to the other things that you can do with your release, like screwing around on Spaces or whatever, what have you. And I've noticed that shift in that world for sure, and I'm sure that's not the only place where that kind of thing can occur. So I wonder, in this space, especially in its infancy, how much like the forums, how much us doing things right now can really influence what is correct and what's not. Like just by you saying that is correct, and then someone else saying that it is, and then the next person, then some, people building influence as to what the goalpost is and what the valuation is. I think it would be in our best interest to kind of like explore different combinations and try not to, hunker down on what maybe has worked sometimes in the past that might not be relevant in the next 5 years.
Totally. So there's a lot of good points there. And I think this is this idea of like, even in music right now, if you're a Playboi Carti, he doesn't do anything, right? He puts out one Instagram post every 6 months, and then the album finally drops after 2 years, and people go crazy. The reason why people go crazy is there are people on Reddit 24/7 trying to figure out, has he done anything? Oh my God. They're 24/7 posting about Playboi Carti. They're obsessed. It's this, if they had space, they've been Spaces all day saying, this is the best song, not the best song. He's going to be Baby Carti, Vampire Carti, whatever. Here. We have the same thing in NFTs where if you're a project like Azuki, Zagabond doesn't talk. Right? But there are regular Azuki spaces, Azuki-based spaces. They have some people who are putting out regular threads. There's a community that is not the main people, right? But they're the whole time thriving, and then boom, press tour on top when something's releasing. But if there's nothing in that gap, I feel like everyone's just going to forget about you. You have to like maintain these like regular groups where you just talk about, anything.
I will say to that point too, like, for Luca, I think it works so well because of the business that he's running. Like, he's running this plushie toy business, got into Walmart. So, yeah, you're going to go on Good Morning America and be like, yeah, we're in Walmart now. You're going to go on these, like, press tours and be like, we're in there because you have this product. It's prior to the holidays. Like, it makes sense. But if we're talking, like, on the back end, right, as far as, like, NFT culture, degen culture, and that sort of thing, I'm sure Luca has tapped in with other founders in the space and be like, hey, like, what's the sentiment in the space? How do we like, how does Pudgy like align themselves with like the culture that's going on over here? And that's where you have other founders that like they focus on that, right? And whatever their project is. And if we do like even the comparison, right, of like what Frank does in terms of going into spaces and all this sort of stuff, like, I think early on when he like did the separation of having like the DGods account and then his own account to like build, and you look at it now and it's like he's got whatever 200 something thousand followers, DGods account has like 100,000 plus whatever. You've essentially built two platforms now where you can market from, you can empower your community from. Like, there's so many times where people have been like, oh, all I want is the mythic Frank retweet, because what it comes with is like you getting put on a completely new audience, your impressions going up, all this sort of stuff. And for some, like, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the clout, they're looking for the marketing, they're looking for the dopamine, whatever. And I think there's just there is that aspect of like when it was working for him, being that active, being that public, price was up, all this sort of stuff, that was like the ideal founder for a bit, right? And so I think we just continue to keep finding like what works, what doesn't work, and we're like, whatever, we're 2 years in from some of these founders existing in the space. Now they're figuring out like what's the sustainability of that? How does this expand? How does this scale? How do we like keep going through these ebbs and flows to eventually just like keep price up, right? Like that's like the overall goal, is how do you keep your community valuable, your asset valuable? But I think for the founders, it's like everybody's kind of finding their own niche of what works and what doesn't work.
Well, I think we're realizing that you have to make moves that have impact, and they've got to be something that spawns conversation. If you announce something on Monday and by Wednesday nobody's talking about it, then like what you did had no impact. So when you talk about communication, it's not everybody doesn't have to have one particular communication style, but whatever you're communicating needs to then become a topic in Web3 where people are then discussing it. You see it every time time any big project founder, Yuga does something, DGods does something, Zagabond does something, Luca does something, it's now you go into any Twitter space and that's what people are discussing, and it's because that's what people want to talk about. So there's a lot of project founders that I think are not the greatest at communicating, and then as a result, everybody else isn't talking about it, and as a result, it's hard for your project to really, sustain and have any sort of legs to it. And again, when you have interesting things to talk about, that also allows your community members to go talk about those things. Then they become more prominent in Web3, and now all of a sudden you have a more impactful project than a lot of the projects out there where, again, they're announcing something on Monday and by Wednesday nobody's talking about it.
Well, you could also fill in the gaps between your own founder speaking on spaces by utilizing other platforms. So Pudgy Penguins' TikTok and Instagram presence is actually being used for that purpose and that purpose alone, because they go on those press tours and they spend a lot of money for moments in time. And now what could you actually do to provide, sustainability in terms of conversation and being in the conversation in between those gaps of major moments and actually investing in a press tour? And they utilize that by actually expanding multiple platforms at the same time, so they could have content that could be recycled on multiple platforms. So the stuff that they create for Twitter could also be redesigned and edited for Instagram, then pushed over to TikTok and stuff like that. So they're not only using their founder to kind of like be in constant conversation, they're using the actual comms from the Pudgy account. And then I could mention on the top of my head at least 7 prominent Pudgy Penguins community members that are as active, if not even more active, than almost any founder in the space. You have Pipi, Verdant, Lorenzo, Moose. You have so many people who are doing that themselves, constantly keeping the moment in the conversation. But I think using the founder for big moments in time where it's organized and precise, and you can actually capitalize on a moment rather than just like always being online.
Well, see, that's the problem, though. Sorry,
No, go ahead.
Well, I think that's the problem, too. Is like, how, as your community, do you make sure you attract these great people? I've been in multiple communities where someone's there, and then, like, all of a sudden, after a month, they go, oh, these people don't appreciate me. Bye, I'm leaving now. How do you, like, have somewhere to grow? There was some controversy that happened recently, too. Oni1 hired Elena, and then that was a prominent Azuki member that everyone loved until, she was doing a little bit of scamming on ordinals, a little bit of stolen art, no big deal, make a little cash. And like now they're like, Oni's like, oh, we'll hire this person again. How do you choose your people and make sure if someone joins your project and says, I'm going to be on space all day talking about it, you might have someone great or someone toxic.
So just to kind of back up a little bit. So first of all, you need people who are passionate about your project and who have conviction, which takes time. Not everyone's going to be as passionate about Pudgy Penguins as they are with DGods, right? Completely different sides of the spectrum. I mean, I get gifts from my family members using Pudgy Penguins and they don't even know what it is. They just use it. Good morning, right? You see it. You're not going to see something with like a U or a DGod raising a cup that's been created. So it's different as far as what is desirable off the market and what isn't. Now, in regards to team members, I think the vetting process has to be more in depth. You have to ask the right questions, but people aren't willing to be honest about what they're doing and what they're not doing until they get caught.
Well, yeah, and I think a big part of it, too, as a community member, it's easier to have conviction and support something when you can clearly see the needle being moved forward, right? Pudgy Penguins, for example, they want to be one of the biggest toy companies in the world, right? So placement in Walmart just makes sense to see that needle is being moved forward in a big way, and it's easier to support and have conviction for something like that and understand that Luca's taking the right moves to push forward in that particular mission direction.
I mean, people were passionate about Pudgy Penguins way before Walmart. I mean, I had gotten to Pudgy Penguins 8-9 months before because of the cute factor. I mean, I definitely saw that vision, but again, it requires not just the founder, it requires a team that is just as passionate and has that clear vision.
But and I think that's kind of the big thing about what Luca's doing is all of his actions kind of ignite that passion, right? Like he did so much with like Jiffy impressions and seeing like, I remember there was a space he was talking about when he was pitching to these big Web2 companies, the biggest thing they cared about were impressions on Instagram, on Giphy. And if you already have that as leverage and then you tie that into like, and now we're in Walmart, it's just so much easier to support a founder who's actually taking moves regardless of how often or how active he is on Twitter. If he's making these big moves, it's so much easier to get behind him and say, I support this guy and everything that he's doing.
Well, that's because the bar has been raised, right? I mean, for the major part of 2021 and then probably into the first half of 2022, if a project announced staking, the floor price would go up, right? We were like, wow, they did some crazy shit. They did staking, or they called it something different, right? Like, and so the bar has been raised now in terms of what we expect. So every time a project founder actually does something impressive with the massive amount of money that they raised at Mint, then the rest of us go, oh, that's actually pretty cool, and that raises the bar for everybody else.
The thing is that a lot of what we're talking about is not exclusive to Web3. Building a good team is the hardest thing to do in a company from my personal experience. There might be a lot of other harder things, but from my personal experience, the hardest thing is to surround yourself with good people. So finding good people and elevating them to be your voice when you can't be is fucking difficult. And I'm not going to try to discount that. And that's why a lot of these founders take it upon themselves to do that, and that's why you see burnouts. That's why you see pictures of Frank going viral with him looking drained, as as any person would be, literally carrying a lot of the community on his back since Mint, and he's doing an excellent job in doing that. But as a DGOT holder myself, I'm thinking about longevity here, and I think that what Luca did from the ground up is preparing for longevity. So you can't always give people what they want instantaneously, because once you do that, all you're doing is chasing demand. What you have to do is give people what they want initially so they're happy, build that foundation, and ask for patience from your community so you could actually go to Walmart, so you could actually have success long term, and have that team elevate them so they could do a lot of the grunt work for you from the community aspect, so then you could come in the final moment with 5 seconds on the clock and hit the game winner and fucking push your company to the next level, optimize your SEO, get a bunch of news articles written from you, and get placement by Kai Cenat.
See, the problem is that how long do you actually wait for stuff? 'Cause I'm sure right now, if you said, "Hey, Moonburst team, what up?" They're like, "Just be patient. Just keep waiting. We're almost there." Everyone we have, it's the same message, right? And you could say, "Okay, great. Whatever you're doing, okay, getting toys in Walmart, that's easy. We could do that too. We're going bigger. Okay, it's going to be harder. We're trying to change the world." You can always, when do you keep investing in that company? If you're a user, a lot of us have PFPs for projects up here. And, changing your PFP, if you're in a project, oh my God, what would happen if you change your PFP? How many DMs would you get, right? If you just did a space with a new PFP, right, it would be, it's crazy. You build up a reputation off of something, and then, choosing whether it's worth your time or not is tough. How, as a founder, do I tell people, yo, you build over here? We got you. I have a lot of ape friends that were like, I'm going to do ape spaces, talking apes every day. And then all of a sudden, it's 9 months later, okay, so I don't know, in 3 months from now, maybe they'll update the game again. I don't know what to talk about, man. Is anything happening? It's there's nothing tangible to keep going on. And then people are like, what the fuck did I build my brand off? If I want to build my brand off NBA, I got basketball games to do. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, right?
If you ask the Pudgy community for patience, would they give it to you right now?
Right now they would probably, because he's done enough.
Exactly.
I will say though that not to discount anything that Luca's done, but it was also an acquisition. From the sense of he came in with a community that was there, and now they're oh, there's a whole new redirection. If we're comparing that to some of these other founders, it's they've been in since Mint and established that community, been in the trenches with their community, and grown that community to what it is today. And if you're seeing burnout now, whatever the case is, it's it's been X amount of time, and now you're trying to figure out well, what is that next step of where does our community go, where does our business go, where does our vision go? And I think that's okay that NFT projects go through those turmoil times. And I think this past market too has shown that more often than not, speculation is more rewarded than the actual execution that is anybody is doing. If you executed something in this market, more power to you, because more often than not, you probably got wrecked by executing on whatever you did. Aside from I think Pudgy's the clear winner with what they did. But even when they announced the Walmart, went on a press run, yada yada, it didn't moon right away. The floor price didn't go up right away. It's not like people were oh, toys are in Walmart now, FP 2x, 3x.
Yeah, Vegan was fighting it on the show.
No, I was pro plushies the whole time. We have it on. Okay.
By the way, you're right about the acquisition, but that's why they use the strategy that they did, right?
No, 100%. I'm just more so when you have an acquisition, it gives new life to that community. Yeah. Versus whoever is still with their community now and still trying to build, you don't get those clocks reset. You don't get those oh, the community now has something else to look forward to, because they're oh, we're still this team, what are they doing? What's going on here? We know what they've done in the past, but what is there to look forward to? And I think a lot of projects are kind of in that just moment right now of what is next. And the name of the game right now is really survival. You are trying to make it back to when things are pumping and going back into this bull market and the hype comes back and all these sort of things. And it's how do you get there? How do you keep your community through that and keep the good people that you have amassed up until this point wanting to continue to create underneath your brand?
A lot of what I said up until this point is actually the biggest bull case for electing presidents for DGODs, by the way.
Hey, yo.
No, it's literally for like literally empowering and lifting up people to do a lot of that work, so you could like have sustainability, have longevity. Like Mark and Sunny being on this panel right now is great for DGods. And you might not see it in the floor price movement, but it is. Like electing 2 presidents for the DGods, electing 2 presidents for youth. It's like it's the same thing of like elevating PP, elevating Moose, elevating these people in order to do that for the community, for the project. Like you're a representation of us, me as a holder, by you being up there right now. So like it's, and for every community there is, you know, different ways of approaching it, of course.
For sure.
Well, and I think you have to find ways to inspire your community. I think that's a big part of it. Like there's definitely times where I've met certain project founders and I'm like, that person couldn't inspire a paper bag. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but
Not
like
a paper bag.
I'm sorry, but that like not everybody has that ability. And like, if you really want to have a community rally together, they have to believe that they're doing something. I mean, I think like Bonk is a great example of that. This time last year, the whole like Solana space was depressed. Basically, the FTX had happened. Everybody's depressed as fuck, and all of a sudden they come out with Bonk, and all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh my god, I just got $200. I just got $500, whatever it is." And then all of a sudden you start to hear, "Oh, this person's behind it. You got this monkey that's behind it. Yada yada yada." And all of a sudden they're like, "Well, wait. This actually might have some legs." Then they start building really, really cool things. I saw somebody recently talking about how much profit they're making right now, and it's crazy. And that allows them to do things like Bonkmas and everything like that.
You
and so,
skipped one thing.
Again, it's like the ability to inspire people to get them to then talk about it for you is one of the most powerful things. And again, not everybody has that ability, but got to find out a way to inspire people.
But Bonk had to have 1 year of no one talking about it.
Oh, I think
right?
Solana talked about it quite a bit. Like,
But them burning the allocation for DGods
was
was
brilliant.
the most bullish thing that they could have done for the lore of that token.
Yeah, that was
perfect. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like that definitely, it bonded everybody on Solana in a way that just like you couldn't duplicate that even if you wanted to.
Oh, I remember the spaces saying, Frank took money out of your mouth. If you can't pay rent, Frank took it from you. And it was like, what the heck is going on?
I will say I did text them when the holidays came up. I said, if you guys announce something on Thanksgiving or Christmas, I will find you and burn your homes down. So I was like, that is a threat. No announcements on holidays. Okay?
And
None of
this
that.
is how you know that Mark is not in the cabal because they did it anyway.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, it sounds like we're talking about 2 different things that have come up. So one is this idea of if you have a community, like how do you actually incentivize the people? We talk about the president, what Pawns did with the plague, another way, giving people some percentage, saying like, hey, these people in the community, like what they did with Whale and Elena with Azuki originally, making them like official advisors. Seems like that's a good thing to do. Now, if I'm a new community member, finding which one I'm going to fit in, I don't know, I guess I got to find out where the vibes are and like, who's going to be around for a while, right? I probably wouldn't do it for a new project. I wouldn't say, I'm going to do a daily space for a new PFP that just dropped yesterday, you know, because whatever, it can go away here. But on the other hand, it's like founders, you're going to have a bad time no matter what. That's I think, a pretty true statement. There's no project we've had where it's going to be like, yes, every single week, everyone loves it. Oh, the next week, we love it. It's got to get quiet sometimes. Things got to, like, you know, chill out. You're going to get some hate for some releases. Some people are going to leave the community and join. And, like, if you don't have some basis there, you kind of screwed. So
You may have to take ketamine.
You may have to take ketamine, okay? Yeah. Yep, there you go.
Rebud, we have no bad days. It's literally
okay.
Everyone's stoned.
It's all
everyone's
chill,
happy.
man.
Yeah, the weed project.
Not even
okay.
chilling. When you said that, I was like, no, I've never had anyone upset with us. So yeah, low key.
Okay, so new lesson: stop selling JPEGs, sell weed. That's the key. No one will be upset.
No, make sure everyone can smoke for free.
Okay.
Because and we hear about the DGods events and we hear about Luca's events and everything. Stoners will talk about your event if you get them high for 6 months.
Oh my god!
I had people today being like, "Wish I had a joint for my goodie bag, bro," and it's like, that was 6 months. NFTLA, can't wait. It's like, so all I'm saying.
Good lesson. Okay, so we need like, I don't know, like D-weed or something like that. I'm gonna talk to Frank. We're gonna get this going. Okay, weed on ordinals. Weed to be there. Okay.
Weedscriptions. Weedscriptions are coming soon.
Weedscriptions. Okay.
Spark
Now
one up
remember,
right now?
so we're talking about a lot of different stuff here, but we're gonna keep the conversation going. However, we're gonna do it offline. So guess what? That's the end of our show. Before we end, though, everyone on stage, you get a quick show. Anything you want to shout out? Sonny, what's up?
D Athletics on top. We run pickup games every month in LA if y'all play basketball. And yeah, I'm going to take credit for everything good that happens in DGods as the president.
Beautiful.
Anything bad? Are you going to take credit for that too?
No, you can contact Frank for that.
Yeah, exactly. True politician. Sienna, what's going on?
Remember, it's the playbook without the extra Z.
Well,
And
hey, just remove the Z's. You can just click the Z's right now, Rosenbaum, and get rid of it, okay? He won't do it for me. Okay, we got espresso shot.
the espresso shot, which is a daily show space. But yeah, proud to represent.
Beautiful, beautiful. Excited to have you on the show. A lot more here. Mark, what's going on? When's the next interview dropping?
Oh, it's dropping. Finally, I got a new computer, so that's going to allow me to start cranking out some more content. So we got a ton coming in January. And, yeah, outside of that, go buy used car. Used car's going to 50 million market cap.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Not financial advice. Not financial advice. Okay. Big God, what's going on?
Yeah, man, I'm just working on a lot more art, bringing a lot more art to Bitcoin. So 2024 is going to be fun.
Beautiful, beautiful. Excited about that here.
Utes to Bitcoin is going to be fun. I'm sorry?
Utes to Bitcoin?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I know
do
that
it.
there's been a lot of rumors, but yeah, I'm excited for Utes on Bitcoin.
Dude, Utes World Tour, every chain. If it hasn't
World
touched every
Tour.
chain, I'm not trusting it here. Okay.
Well, with layer 0, we can do that.
We can, exactly, exactly. If anyone is here live, we're going to do a little after party after. It's just over on Abercrombie. A bunch of us will walk over. They got drinks, they got food here. SoCal Vibes Co. It's a nice short walk right on Abercrombie. If not, we'll be back next week. Same time, same place here. Thank you, everyone. Bye. See you. Try to play some music. Thank you.
That was electric. Thanks for having me.
That was fun, huh?
That was awesome.
Thank
Great.
you.
Great, yeah.
Nice to
Great
meet you.
panel.
Sienna, congrats, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I got thrown into do you after dark. And I know Go for a minute. Okay. And,
You know, Bucky just won. That was solid, dude. We should have got that.
Yeah, 100%. But Ben is actually very good.
Oh, really?
Ben, crypto Ben. Yeah, that's my boy. Like, honestly. Honestly, I'm pissed that I didn't buy a youth forever. My guy for the other top with the LA hat coming over here. I'm like, youth so bad. Like, I'm just about to plug at this point. I just need one. So yeah, it's all good. Sunny, this is Zen, this is Sunny. He's the president of It's awesome hearing you chat. Good luck on everything. We'll definitely try to pull through. You guys have tons of events during the day. And I tell Van to go, I'm like, bro, we need to do something in the evening time besides IRL Alpha. Yeah, no.
Feel free to come through. We're going to play 1-3 at the gym in downtown. It's in
Yeah, we live in Echo Park, near Dodger Stadium. So yeah, that's dope. Definitely.
Hey, Rosenbaum, can you display and turn off the screen share?
Yeah, so I do spaces. I'm not, so it's weird. I was like super active in a lot of things. And I was like, okay, none of this is really aligning with me. Got a lot of my time wasted. So I just kind of took a step back, kind of realign myself. I actually just moved here from Florida, 4.5. I just moved here from about 4.5, 5 months ago from Florida. So just kind of realigning myself, really trying to figure out exactly what I want to accomplish in this space, because it was just becoming redundant, the same shit over and over. And like, I love spaces, but I think even spaces are becoming really saturated with the same shit. Like for me, even IRL Alpha, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, no, I love spaces, love talking. It's been a bread and butter in my life for over a year now. Yeah, love it. Very passionate about it. So. Sure, I'll send you. Like, I try to pop into again like Dan Goes or Ben's space pretty often. I was actually on a lot of Ben's spaces when all the art updates were happening, and he was running those like 12, 15 spaces, 12, 15-hour spaces. I was like, bro, I'm gonna come in. Yeah, no, it's dope. Yeah, it's definitely my bread and butter. Yeah, like again, congrats. I'll see you around.
I think there's a disconnect button. You see disconnect anywhere there? I think click on panel. Rosenbaum, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
would like to learn how to use some of this stuff upstairs. We're working on the music. I've requested a song. It's just taking a second. And Los is coming down for the post show. Where's the chat? If you can see me in the chat, please let me know.
I have to pee.
Okay, got you. I'm gonna grab my bag right now.
I'm gonna head out. Seeing you guys, She's something about tonight. She's really nice. And she needs to go home. She needs to go to bed.
There's a lot of people.
Oh yeah, she's like.
Audio good? Jerry, audio? Oh, my bad, bro. Jerry. Yo, Jerry. Audio good? Audio good. Welcome to the IRL Alpha post show where we clear up with DJs, see what they thought about the show. Coming here from Venice, California, subbing in for Bitoshi as camera guy for a small minute. Here we go. Adventure team, man. What'd you think about the show tonight?
It was great.
Oh, there we go, there we go. There it is.
Am I here? I see myself.
I need my cameraman Boo, man, because this is not working. But
it was really good, though. No, I mean, every week's always a good time. Talking about some hot topics of the week is always good.
Good. What was your favorite part about the show tonight?
Oh, your camera's flipping.
Oh.
Is it? Are we still good?
I think the gimlet might be dead. Oh, we're having some technical difficulties.
Anyway, yeah, I really liked. Let's see. I think probably this conversation on the cabals was pretty fun. It's always a good time talking about the inner workings of Web3.
Well, it's funny. What so many people refer to as a cabal is just basically networking, where like you build a group of people, like you share like your insights, and you just basically learn that way. I think like cabal is kind of overrated too, where like so many people can just like move markets or something like that. What are your views on that?
You know, I think a lot of what was talked about was it's pretty big. I mean, I think people overestimate like the size of our space. I mean, we are like such a small little group. I mean, on any given good day, the whole entire NFT space might bring in 15 million in volume, which is like nothing. I mean, we're still such a small space. I don't know if you want to consider like anything that we do in this space like really a true cabal of sorts. I mean, not a lot of money can move markets these days, so it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, I think it really is. I mean, like, when we talk about cabals, it's like basically like you got TradFi, you got like BlackRock coming into things, you got the ETF. So it's like, I would feel like that's the real cabal, not us just like degenning into like different things.
I mean, yeah, the real cabal is still all the crypto, you know, the old crypto people, you know, they move a lot of that stuff in big volumes.
Dude, Adventure Team, always a pleasure, bro. Appreciate you, man. Sonny, bro, your first time on the panel, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, we're going handheld now. Dude, how'd you like it, bro?
It was a lot of fun. I think it was just a good conversation. I think we were talking about some really dope things that are going on, just like within Web3 sentiment, and like that's what it's about. We got to keep having conversations about this stuff.
Now, where do you see like Web3 going forward, man? Like, what do you see like lacking? Where do you see the strengths? Like, what do you see like this space becoming?
Honestly, I think the biggest strength is like what's been a strength up until this point, which is like the people, the community, people being able to like build their own lanes, like find things that they're passionate about and explore that. And I think where we're going is just like, you know, obviously you're gonna have the bad actors in the space, you're gonna have the things that, you know, maybe don't go well, all these sort of things. And I think as we grow, I think the one thing is just like we just gotta extend more grace to people that are in this space. Everything's not so black and white. People are trying things, people are failing, people are succeeding. And the only way we're gonna keep growing is if we extend that grace to the people that are trying, succeeding.
Yo, bro, fire fucking take, dude. Happy to have you on the panel, bro.
Thank
Sonny,
you,
hope
man.
to see you again, bro.
Absolutely.
For sure, bro. I'm here with the king of the fucking hot takes tonight, man. Like, Bucket, you always spicy, bro. You're a spicy bucket, bro. So, how'd you feel? Go into like deep, man. Like, what are your feelings on the cabal?
No comment.
I love the no comment, bro. Where do you see the future of the space going?
I'm not optimistic, but I'm more optimistic than like most industries. So, like, I'm pretty pessimistic on most industries, honestly. I am optimistic in terms of like actual innovations eventually being implemented, specifically with AI, mixed reality, stuff like that. I do think tokenization as a whole will be adopted in more places. It's just like the macros are not looking good. This recent rally is basically just the government deciding, you know what, we want to pump some stuff entering an election year. Like, everything's pumping across the board. NASDAQ, like a fucking all-time high. Dow Jones is fucking skyrocketing. Everything is moving across the board. Like, the crypto pump has nothing necessarily to do with the space itself. More has to do with the repercussions of like everything pumping across the board. So it's like, I feel like number goes up, we're more optimistic. When number goes down, more pessimistic. I think it's just like we're part of the system. There's no real, the decoupling is not really happening anytime soon between like the US dollar and crypto right now. It will eventually, that's why I am still here. I am overly optimistic, but like optimistic in comparison, not necessarily optimistic specifically, because there's still a lot of problems that we have to fix.
Dude, appreciate the takes, Bucky. You're super spicy tonight. Love to see you, man. Good as always, bro. Yo, Nick, man, thank you, bro. I got an amazing new cameraman right here, Danger Noodle. Thank you for filling in, bro. Hell yeah, bro. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's ask these guys. What'd you guys think about the show tonight?
Oh, it was great. I always love the show, yeah. It was awesome.
So have you been, what's your name, man? Like
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, Christina too. Los.
Los.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Alex. Yeah, Christina was telling me you're coming. You do Crypto Fridays, right?
Yeah, that's right, Los, yeah.
Dude, so can you tell us about Crypto Fridays and what you do?
Yeah, I mean, Crypto Fridays every Friday in K-Town. It's really just a great community. We invite everybody there. We get all kinds of people. It's just traders, people that are new, project owners, VCs. And then we all get Korean barbecue after. It's great. I drink a lot of soju.
Bro, I was just talking about Korean barbecue. She was telling me you did the event at Lock and Key. I used to live right down the street.
Yeah, we're gonna do another one at Lock and Key in January. So.
Oh, nice, bro.
So, yeah.
So when's the next Crypto Friday? Doing one tomorrow or?
We're on hiatus for the holidays. We have kind of like some unofficial stuff going on just for the community, but we'll restart in January, and yeah, it's gonna be more like alpha focused as well. So yeah, I love coming here and learning from what you guys do, and yeah.
Good. And where can people find more information about Crypto Fridays?
Right now, probably the best way is to just pay attention to the website, cryptofridays.com, and our Telegram. Yeah.
I do love Telegram, bro. Alex, I appreciate you. Hey, man, nice to meet you, dude.
Yeah, nice to meet you, bro.
Hold on, I'm gonna track down Ziana. Ziana.
Okay. Hello, I'm sorry. Were you trying to get me?
I'm like, I gotta track her down. She was on the panel.
No
Dude, so how'd you love being on the panel tonight?
It was really great. Very exciting. More smooth than I remember from the first time, so not too many spicy takes, but it was great. I loved it.
And are you gonna be back for more?
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, we love seeing you here, man, Ziana. It's so good.
So nice to be here. Thank you. You're awesome.
Oh, dude, take care. Glad your mom made it too. I just love this guy so much. I always got to interview him all the time, bro. What's up, big guy?
Good, man?
Dude, from doing the
Nice little
Ordinals
show, man. Nice little show.
Well, from doing the Ordinals show at 4 to hopping on the panel, man, you're one of the hardest working people here. So
Man, I just love this shit, man. I just love, I love IRL Alpha. I love debating too. Like, you know, I was never on like debate club, but like I fucking love that shit. So I don't know, man. I just love it.
There was like some great takes on the show, man. What was like your favorite part about the show tonight?
I mean, I think talking about like the different community parts, like, you know, how different communities are built, you know, the Pudgy Penguins versus D-Gods, like all of that sort of stuff I think is really interesting, and the sort of different dynamics of each community and how they've grown, how they've developed, the focuses of, I don't know. I just love, I love talking about all that stuff. But yeah, that was probably my favorite topic.
And the question, how does one get into the Ordinal Cabal?
I think the Ordinal Cabal and like any other cabal is just putting in some basic effort. Like, you know, I think what I've told a lot of people now, like, hey, of course, set up a wallet, put a little Bitcoin in there, but they're like, hey, like, what sort of collections do I buy? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I think a lot of the collections right now have like gone so up in price. It's like, are you really going to spend 10 grand on something like you have no interest or connection to? Probably not. So like, just getting into the community, funding your wallet, trying to get into sort of like different group chats that you vibe with. And then, of course, from there, like, I think trying to do as many free mints as possible, which is sort of in the meta on Bitcoin anyway. So, I don't know. That's what I would say.
Dude, that's what I loved about Bitcoin. I mean, like, Bitcoin frogs are basically free. You had, like,
I mean, you have Ordi, you have Sats, right? These are like 2,500 X's, all free. You know, what else? Ordi rocks are free. There's really not that too many mints that are free. I'm sorry, that were paid. Majority of them have been free or close to free. It's like the risk is low, the community starts to build. It's an interesting dynamic.
I love it, bro. I'd love to see what Ordinals is coming with in the future, man. Bitcoin,
IRL
always a
Alpha is
place.
the alpha.
IRL Alpha is the alpha. You heard it from Bitcoin himself, man. We appreciate you as always, brother. Let's see who else we get. Let's go. Oh.
I mean, at least it shouldn't be that bad traffic.
I always love interrupting people's conversation, so here I am.
There we go. What's good, sir?
What is good, Mark? And
Mandy,
nice to meet you both. And dude, how'd you like being on the panel for the first time?
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was a great conversation. It was, I don't know how long it was, but it went by quick because it was just, it was a good conversation. So felt like we were in a Twitter space in real life.
Dude, that's exactly the vibe we're going for, is like an IRL Twitter space. And Mandy, what'd you think about like the show tonight?
so this is my first IRL event here, and I thought it was amazing. I love the vibe, the people, everything. You guys did amazing.
She drove 2 hours to be
I
here.
did drove 2 hours.
Really?
Yes, I did. And this is my first one. I drove a long way, but you know what? It was worth it. It was completely worth it.
Are you going to be coming back for more?
I actually do, yes.
Are
Maybe every Thursday.
There we go.
We would love to see you, Mandy. And Mark, are you going to be coming back for more? I mean, you're in LA, you're local.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been here for a few other shows before, and they're always a great time. So, yeah, I'll definitely be back. There's no doubt.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, my man. Thank you.
Take it easy. Mandy, pleasure. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Let's see who else we get over here. So Boo is usually behind the camera. And you know my shtick, man. I love interrupting conversations.
I got you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
What's up, gang? We're here with the young king himself. King Butoshi, man.
Hello.
What is
I
up,
appreciate
bro?
the intro. What the fuck? I'm doing so good,
What's
lad.
up, baby?
I'm having a
Come on.
great couple weeks. Christmas was fantastic. The holidays are sick. What Big God said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Super Cycle. Saying Super Cycle bearish.
Super Cycle Bears?
Like, is saying Super Cycle bearish? Like, are we drinking too much Kool-Aid?
Oh, no. Happy Super Cycle, man. That's what we're doing now. Is that what I think it is? Get a shot of this jacket right here, man. Where the fuck did you get that, dude? That is so fire.
This is actually my my homegirl thrifted this. I am just taking it for clout because it's a dang sweater. Look, we got the Pfizer logo right here. You gotta peep that.
Bro, so me and Jen did get kicked off of a YouTube video for COVID misinformation, so I wonder if they were behind that.
Look, bro, all I'm saying is Pfizer gave you COVID immunity shots. We don't need them if COVID didn't exist in the first place. Who's spreading it? Big Pharma.
Hold on, we can't talk about this. We're gonna get kicked off again.
Just kidding, it was a joke. Big Pharma doesn't exist. Pills aren't real.
There we go, bro. Boo, man, you got like one of the sickest collections on Bitcoin, bro. What's coming up for like the Bitcoin booths? I know you're doing like an AI chatbot where each booth is like personalized. It builds up on like the language model from before. Can you go a little bit into detail about that?
So going into detail, essentially at the core, what I am creating and improving on are digital AI souls. And when I say digital AI souls, I literally want the perception that these beings are alive in their own universe that you get to interact with. You get to talk to them. You get to alter how they feel, how they think, by the same way humans do in real life. You just speak, build relationships, and have fun in the universe and fuck around and see what happens. We'll have like cool magic, cool dang shit that goes on because nothing's real anyways. So anyways, it's fun. I'm just working on building the universe. I'm also building an AI RPG game in the Discord. So that should be fun. Just a little thing for whitelist, so I'm excited for it.
I gotta join your Discord, bro, because RPGs are my jam, dude, so it's like...
Discord.gg/Bitcoin, spelled out BITCOINBOOS. Thank you.
I love you, boo, bro. Fucking always a pleasure, man. Got you, baby. Let's see who else we got over here, man. Oh. You know what? They're deep in conversation, so let's go here. Yo, how'd you enjoy the show tonight?
Oh man, it was amazing. It was amazing. I came with some friends. We were with good company. I think Buckets had a lot of good things to add. Just really exciting. It's good to see the president up there doing good things for D-Gods. But yeah.
Oh, so you're part of the D-Gods fam.
I'm definitely amongst the cabal, if you will.
The D-God cabal. The D-Cabal.
You know, Friday Beers might be sponsoring these Almost Friday events that you guys are regularly hosting. There was a sixer or two placed in the fridge, and I saw some of your patrons enjoying it. And you know, Friday Beers is able to go ahead and provide that on a continual basis.
Dude, and where can we find more info about Friday Beers?
Oh, it's very simple. Friday Beers NFT on Twitter. That's where the cabal starts and ends.
I'm gonna see if there's any more Friday Beers in there, and like.
I'm pretty sure they're sold out, but you're welcome to put this in your bag. I brought 2 of them.
Oh hell yeah! Dude, appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you so much for coming through, man. Looking forward to it.
Oh, we're live.
We are live, Lindsay. How you doing?
I'm just going to find my ride to ramen and leave. Love you.
I'll see you over there. What's up, Christina?
Great. What's up? We are talking about how to get shadow banned on Twitter.
Well, apparently you just speak about any like fringe political view or question any main narrative. That's been my experience because we got kicked out of YouTube. We did get some little spicy take and YouTube took down a video of ours.
A video of yours for what project, Los? I'd love to hear about this.
I cannot talk about it because they'll probably take down this video.
Oh, shit. I guess we can't. But I just got some tips right now. To help get yourself unshadow banned, you have to just go through your steps and make sure you disable any sensitive content. So I can't wait to try that out because now I have a blue check and I thought Twitter would care about me and I'm still shadow banned. Yay!
I think they just care about the $8 a month they're getting.
Maybe so, but that's okay. And this was a fun show today. I hope you enjoyed the show today.
I always enjoy the show. And what do you have coming up? I know you're dropping on Ordinals. You got the first opera project. Can you talk about that?
Actually, that is true. If we're going to build some speculation, that is going to be fun. Do we want to know a little bit more about the video or just the audio?
Dude, why don't you give us both?
All right, so the audio itself, it's called Dona Sorrento. So it's an Italian folk song written a few hundred years ago by Ernesto Curtis. But I decided, instead of doing it exactly the way that it was written in its own historical context, I decided to take the lyrics more literally and tell it as a story from my perspective, the way I thought that it should be. And it's an AI-generated music video. And the fun thing about it is there's actually oranges in the lyrics, just like orange is the big color for ordinals. And it's so funny because people who have seen previews of the work, for Bitcoin, they're like, oh, did you put the oranges in there just for Bitcoin? And I'm like, no, it was literally in the lyrics. So it's like this piece was literally meant to be on Bitcoin ordinals because look at the lyrics. So very exciting.
I love it, Christine. Always a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much. Let's find some more people, man. Oh, these are a bunch of new faces. What's up, guys?
He drove from Santa Barbara.
You drove from Santa Barbara. Well, first off, thank you, man. I'm Los. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Jake.
So what made you come here from Santa Barbara tonight?
Just wanted to meet some new people.
And what do you do in this space right now?
I do marketing for Just Ape.
For which one?
For Just Ape. It's a Solana project.
Oh, dude, I love Solana. Fast transactions. Got into it again recently and just have been loving it there. So where do you see the future of the Solana ecosystem going?
Number go up.
Number go up, which is the best utility any project could ever have. And where can we find more information about the apes?
On our Twitter page, it's at justape_, or you can go on justape.co.com.
Dude, I love it, bro. Thank you for coming out from Santa Barbara, man. Pleasure. I'm going to be checking those out. Let's see who else we got over here. Who else? Who have we not interviewed? I'm going to pull it. Oh, dude, we need to get milk. I have my milk, and I'm going to get milk right now, actually.
Oh, yeah.
We are live. Millions of people.
Go
Billions of people. Extreme Go. Lucky enough. Hold on. Dude, yeah. If you don't know Milkman, man, bro. I managed to steal one of these the other week. Don't tell nobody. So Milkman, you work IP, obviously, the Munchies. Dude, tell us a little bit about your project.
Okay, so Munchie Factory essentially it's a factory that's creating dope shit behind the gates. We're focusing on collectibles, but also focusing on magical snacks, quote unquote magical. So more to come on that. But essentially, this is our first project. It's a Web3 collaboration with youth, and it's all essentially a timestamp. So I wanted this to be a timestamp of history, back whenever Frank was transitioning to Polygon, and it being it being essentially just that point in time in Web3. So I don't know, it's just fun. It's nostalgic, and I just wanted to kind of bring that into the space.
Dude, I'm afraid to open it. I still have not opened it. I haven't touched it. I'm just have it chilling on the shelf, looking over. I love your product design. I love the youth that you picked, and the details are right there. Get a close up on this, man. Look at all the nice details.
Yeah, the nutrition facts. So we have a breakdown essentially of what I thought at the time. I thought it would be funny, but essentially what DGODs and youth holders are, right? So we got the pumping iron, we got the builders, we got the shoeies. Obviously the D-worm moves. Take it back to the D-worm moves, and it fucking tastes like heaven. So, but yeah, good vibes. I mean, it was just essentially just a lot of fun. So. And also, if you look at the ingredients, you got the milled enthusiasm, because obviously DGODs are mad enthusiastic. So, yeah.
Now, are you going to be dropping anything else from Munchie Factory coming up soon?
Dude, we have so much in the pipeline for Munchie Factory. One thing I'll drop is in the next 3-ish weeks, we're dropping something called Gummies. So it's going to be magical gummies, but it's going to feature another special ute up front. And it's essentially for microdosing, but it's going to be token gated. So in order to get access to gummies, you have to hold a goober, which is essentially the Web3 version of an Oompa Loompa. And there's only 1,000, so it's tiny, small supply. You use them, they work for you, and then you can use that to gain access to the products that we're building.
Dude, I love to see it. And I love microdosing, so I will be definitely aping it. Milk. Pleasure. Where can people find more of you? Where can they find Munchie Factory?
Munchie Factory, Twitter, so MNCHYFCTRY, so no vowels. So Munchie Factory. You can follow me. I'm Milky Minaj on Twitter.
Such a great name.
Bro, Milky Minaj. Yeah.
Real bro, pleasure.
I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate you. I'm gonna be looking forward to the microdose.
You better eat the cereal too.
I don't want to open it. You know what? I might steal another one and then I'll open that one and I'll have two. Don't tell nobody I'm taking another one. You're taking milk. Appreciate you. Have a great one.
Can I have a round one hug? Hi, Mel. We're gonna go get ramen right now. But I was happy that I saw you.
I am gonna go get ramen with you.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to ramen and everything. I was like, did they leave yet?
Yes, Chris.
I love when people meet each other.
So many people, and then they're just nice, and then after they're like, I don't think we ever saw each other. I'm like, we did. I got a hug, and then they're like, oh shit, I didn't know that was you. That's a true story. It's because I don't use my real face or my real name on Twitter.
Your profile picture is literally your face.
I know. I can't explain it. But I'm gonna DM you right now, and we're gonna go get ramen. Dude, you don't have to go, but if you want to go, it's gonna be good, and we're gonna go to Vibes Co after, which is where everyone else is going. Okay.
I am kind of hungry and do want ramen.
I'm so about
I'm
that
starving.
ramen right now.
Let's see. I think we might have. You know what? Let's interview one more person, and then I'd say ramen sounds amazing because I'm hungry. I'll see you guys there. Let me get one more. Let me get more of the D-God Cabal over here.
D-Cabal.
We're here with the D-Cabal.
D-Cabal.
The D-Cabal.
This is D-Cabal. Cabal. Welcome. They're part of it.
So we gotta get the Mickey hats right here.
This is the Cabal leader.
This is the Cabal leader. You can tell by the Mickey hat right here. The D-God Cabal is here, all in force. Mickey D-Gods.
Burning it.
Now, how does one get into the D-God Cabal? Do you have to do something like the Beeple piece last night?
Yes, you got to touch peen. Well, wait, this is actually, I forgot this is actually recorded.
We're live for millions of listeners right now.
That's tough. You know, there is no, you don't have to do anything like that. Right, Sonny?
Backtrack.
Right, Sonny?
I don't even know who that person
Yeah.
is. This man is an impersonator in the D-Gods Cabal.
You gotta buy a Mickey D-Gods to get into the Cabal. That's what you gotta do.
That's
the floor. Yeah.
No, fuck the floor. Buy a Mickey D-Gods.
No, we need the floor up too, though. Okay, you gotta buy one of each. That fair?
I'm gonna let you two.
Okay, yeah.
Well, let's ask the president. What do we got to do to get into the D-Gods Cabal?
So to get into the D-Gods Cabal, first and foremost, you have to go sweep D-Gods. There has to be more than one. If you want to get into the Cabal of all Cabals, which is the Mickey D-Gods, you have to get a Mickey trait. And then you got to do some very, very, very heinous things to get into their group chat after you buy the Mickey D-God. I will not be repeating those things.
I'll see you at the glory hole.
Yeah.
I do love a good glory hole.
And aside from that, if you want to get into the D-Gods Cabal itself, all you have to do is DM Mark every single day until Mark Koser, at Mark Koser. DM him every single day after you buy your D-God and ask him if he'll let you into the Cabal. That's it.
That's the alpha. So everybody knows, get a D-God. DM this man consistently and obsessively, and you will be in the D-God Cabal. And also touch peen. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I fucking love it, man. Chat, I think that's all the time we have because I'm starving. We're going to go to ramen. Love you so much for joining. It's your boy, Lo Swayze. Tap into IRL Alpha. You can find us across all socials, on YouTube, on X. Tap in. You know the fucking vibes. Love you. Thank you. Peace. Yo, bro, thank you.
Of course. How do you turn this off?
Let me give this to...